Hi, my name is Doug Wallace, and I'm a materials management consultant here at Lifecycle Engineering. Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about cycle counting. Many of our clients and our class participants tell us they simply can't trust their storeroom to have what the system says they're supposed to have. So we asked them, well, do you cycle count your inventory? And they say, sure. Once a year, we get a bunch of people together, we bring them in on overtime, we feed them pizza, and we count everything in our storeroom over the course of a single weekend. Well, that is a physical inventory, but that's not cycle counting. Okay, so exactly what is cycle counting? Well, in short, it's a method of systematically and periodically counting all of the items in your storeroom throughout the course of the year. And there are a few key differences between cycle counting and a full physical inventory. First, cycle counting is based on an ABC classification, where your A items would be your most active or your most critical to the operation. B items would be a lower priority, and your C items would be your least active or least critical to the operation. Unlike a full physical inventory where everything is counted once a year, your A items would be counted once a month or 12 times a year. Your B items would be counted usually once a quarter or 4 times a year, and your C items would typically be counted once a year. Depending on how your ABC classification is done, the total number of counts required may be 2 to 4 times the total number of items you have in your storeroom, but the counts are distributed evenly throughout the course of the year with approximately the same number of items being counted every day. The frequencies need to be reviewed to make sure that you can complete the daily counts with the current number of resources that you have on hand. It should not be necessary to add people to put a cycle counting program in place, but you certainly don't want to get behind. In a full physical inventory, counters are usually assigned to a particular area. They simply start at one end, count bin by bin, and work their way to the other end until they're done. In a cycle counting program, the items to be counted should be selected randomly from the system. And although they can be sequenced by bin location for more efficient counting, they should consist of different items from different parts of the storeroom and different ABC classifications each day. To ensure a random sample and to make sure that all the items get counted within the specified frequency, counts should be generated from your inventory control system. It's almost impossible to do this using a spreadsheet or other manual method. Also, your system should lock out those items that need to be counted, meaning that no transaction should be able to take place until the results of the inventories have been put in the system and the balance is adjusted as necessary. To ensure the integrity of the process, the count should be blind, meaning the person doing the counting should have no idea what the system on-hand balance shows. Also, any adjustments should be made through the proper line organization. These are both common practices in all types of physical inventories. The biggest difference with cycle counting is that whenever an adjustment is made, an investigation should be done as soon as possible afterwards to identify the reason for the variation. Often, simple changes to processes and practices can identify the root cause of the variation and ensure that the same error doesn't happen over and over again. Cycle count accuracy is a metric that measures the quality of your storeroom practices and controls. Best practice targets are 95% overall for the entire storeroom, with A items at 98% or above, B items at 95% or above, and C items at 90% or above. The most obvious benefit to cycle counting is to be able to trust the information that you see in your system. However, if the program is robust and the results are good enough, cycle counting can often be used as an acceptable alternative to a full physical inventory. And as the accuracy rates achieve best practice rates and above, the frequencies can be extended so that the same level of accuracy can be assured with fewer and fewer counts. So if you put an effective cycle counting program in place, you'll improve your on-hand balances, you'll improve your storeroom processes and practices, and you may even be able to avoid those weekend pizza parties in your storeroom. For more information about cycle counting or any of the materials management best practices, feel free to contact us at Lifecycle Engineering or visit us on the web at www.lce.com. lifecycleengineering.com. Thank you.